Tonight on the Empire Report, scandal in Seoul. Igor Khan, Moscow's embattled nightclub magnate, filed suit against the advocacy today. Did agents really plant neon on him following his arrest last week?
Though his title may only be honorary, Julio Fong, the so-called mayor of the marina on Helios 2, is looking to shake things up for the planet's wealthy inhabitants. See why some are saying enough is enough.
Kids call it the Hydro-Froze head rush. Well, the popular frozen beverage is far from dangerous, but what some kids are doing with it can be. We'll uncover the truth behind the trend tonight.
All that and more on the next Empire Report at 2200 SET.
Hey everybody, welcome to Around the Verse. I'm Ben Lesnick, and my standard co-host, Sandy Gardner, is on a secret mission in the UK at the moment. You'll be hearing all about that next week. I'd like to welcome all the new citizens out there who are joining as a result of our Gamescom information. We are glad to have you here. You are the guys who make Star Citizen possible. This is a show called Around the Verse. It's basically the weekly news show for Star Citizen. We tell you what's going on both in the community and on the development side. We try to have fun with it, and we hope you enjoy. So, welcome to the team, guys. And now, the space news. Star Citizen Alpha 116 shipped on Friday, which adds a lot of bug fixes and balance changes to the game, but also a surprise flyable ship. The Vanduul Glaive is now available for any pilots out there who are good enough to finish the Vanduul Swarm mode in multiplayer. The very first pilot to finish this feat was Silent, aka Beardless Thunder God, who did a fantastic job getting right through the swarm. As a reward, we're going to give him a free glaive on his account permanently. So check that out shortly. The Star Citizen Gamescom event was a huge success. Here at Cloud Imperium, we could not be happier with how it went. You saw 3 live demos, all sorts of other announcements, and we got to meet just the most fantastic backers in the world. We were so excited to be able to go to Germany. The entire team is electrified right now, and we hope you guys were pleased with what you saw. Star Citizen truly is coming together, and I think we demonstrated it pretty well this week. Check out a couple of highlights from the show. Chris demos Star Marine, the ArcCorp social module, and of course the big enchilada Arena Commander 2.0. Everything came together great on the show. We were all really happy with how it went. And if I can take a moment, I just want to stress how important we feel it is that these were live demos. It would be very easy for the team to come together and put in a previs or a rendered video or something to show how we want it to work. It's an entirely different thing to work to show you how it actually is working. And with Arena Commander 2.0, that means all sorts of very important technologies that make Star Citizen possible premiering for the first time. Chris is absolutely certain about wanting to show these things to you live to prove how well it works, and we're so happy, and we hope you were too. It was a beautiful night. We also revealed the first details of the big Star Citizen SciTech deal, which is going to lead to an entire suite of Star Citizen-based accessories. That includes mice, joysticks, flight sticks, headsets, and the big deal, the Star Citizen HOTAS, which is being designed right now. Now, over the last few days, I've had all sorts of people come up to me. Essentially, after the show, people started coming up to me saying, "Can I have it left-handed? What about manufacturing issues with the certain SciTech joysticks and so on? How are you going to address these?" The answer is we do not have answers to you today, but we will going forward. Part of our deal with SciTech is that they want to do their own form of open development on this. So for the first time ever, you're going to see this joystick come together. You're going to have them address your concerns. We're going to be funneling your feedback to them, much like how we produce Star Citizen itself. So it's going to be a fun ride. So get ready for it. You can view the entire presentation online here. And for those that couldn't make it, we thought we would share some of the cool physical material we created for the event. Check it out.
That's right, Ben. Members of our presentation audience received this official Constellation ship pen, the first in an ongoing set continued throughout all our major events. They also received an original foam airplane depicting the image of an Aegeus Gladius that our lawyers tell us we can legally refer to as throwable. But that's not all. Those in attendance also received a physical copy of Hunter by A.D. Natisor, as well as a limited edition poster depicting the city of Cologne, Germany in the year 2945, limited to a production run of only 2,000 copies and embossed with the signatures of the Star Citizen studio heads and members of the entire community team. Back to you, Ben.
But there's more than just Gamescom going on. We wouldn't blame you for missing it, but the July monthly report went up on Friday just before the show. It is all the insane nitty-gritty details about how we're making Star Citizen, and if that's the sort of thing that interests you, check it out. The Star Marine weekly update also went live on Monday of this week, and we'll have an even bigger one on Friday. Star Marine is starting to look really good. There's some animation issues that are just going to take a little more time, but you can follow all those with our weekly updates. Here's another piece you likely did miss. We created a new video for backers who are just joining us. It's the first thing they see on the website. And if you are already a Star Citizen supporter, it will just never appear for you. So here it is. I am a PC game indeed. Our own Gurmak Basin here in Santa Monica was a subject of a cover article in 3D Creative magazine talking about his work here, creating the Vanguard and other ships on Star Citizen. The issue is actually free for anyone who's interested in checking out the magazine, and you can have a link to it in the description down there. We kicked off a fly-free promotion as part of Gamescom, allowing anyone out there to try out Arena Commander 116 using this code. Of course, the folks who are watching this show already have Arena Commander, but this is a great opportunity for you to share the game with your friends, your family, your dog, all of that. So get out there, spread the word, help us show how cool Star Citizen is. And speaking of Star Citizen, here is the news from around our studios.
Hey, and welcome back to SIG Santa Monica. I'm Eric Kyron Davis with
Darian Vorlick.
and we are here to give you the news. All right, so we are back from Gamescom. It was intense and fun, and we got a lot of really great work done. So this week is cleanup for Gamescom. We're taking all the stuff we did for Gamescom and we're trying to rebuild it back into one of our streams. On top of that, on the ship side, we're working on Vanguard variants. We're still working on the Drake Herald. We've got a lot of work we're doing this week. It's pretty busy.
Yeah, I mean, we definitely want to keep the momentum up. We built up a good cadence globally, well, not just globally, but within the LA office as well. So we're kind of trying to keep that energy focused. Post Gamescom, we're obviously gearing towards Arena Commander 2.0, as Chris announced at the end of the Gamescom demo. We have a few patches in between that we want to release some more tech here and there. One of the things we're working on is the Ghost system that we've talked about in the past, the game object state machine, as well as fleshing out and perfecting the multi-crew technology in anticipation for 2.0. So it's still a long road ahead of us, but we got a lot of the large milestones out of the way, so we hope you guys enjoyed it. It was pretty intense over here watching on TV.
Yeah, I know we enjoyed it.
Oh yeah.
That's right.
I don't think I've ever sweat so much for a demo in my life.
Yeah, that was pretty intense. All right, anyway, that's it for us here in Santa Monica. Thanks for checking in. Again, I'm Eric Kyron Davis, and this is...
Dave Borlick.
All right, see you later.
Hey guys, Dave Langlears here, lead producer at Elphonic. So this week, the animators have been retargeting all the FPS animations to our new rig. There's another new rig that has gone into the game that is putting back in some of the changes that the stock SDK rig had so that we can achieve certain things in CryEngine that we haven't been able to do recently. So they're just piling through all the animations. Luckily, some of the folks in Austin put together a tool that makes their jobs really easy. It's going much quicker than the last time we went through the retarget process. Another thing that's been going on with the engineering team is they've been working through cover, and they've been adding some small new features to it. So the cover system right now is all procedural. When you get behind an object that it perceives as cover, it'll automatically put you in a cover position. When you aim down sights, it'll pop you out to the side of that cover. We're also putting it in so that if you just press fire, it'll just pop you out and hip fire from cover. So that's another change that's going in. Lastly, we've been doing art reworks on just about all the weapons based on some manufacturer style guides. So some style guides have been created for Bearing and some of the other manufacturers. And so our weapons guy here is going back to all those weapons and making small changes to make sure they fit within the style guides that have been given to us. So yeah, that's pretty much it for this week. Thanks again, guys.
Hey guys, Jake Ross here, associate producer of the Persistent Universe, and here with me this week I have
Pete Mackey. I'm a designer on the Persistent Universe and other various parts on the project.
Yeah, and we're here with you this week to talk a little bit about Social Module and beyond. This past week we showed off stuff at Gamescom. It's pretty cool. You got to see a little bit of Social Module. So now we're just kind of wrapping things up on that. We're polishing emotes and chat. Doing a little bit of revisions to the UI to make it more streamlined, working out bugs, and getting our corporate look as beautiful as possible. We're really proud of how far we've gotten it in the past few months, and we're happy to kind of push that out to you guys here before the end of the month. So look forward to that. Passing it off now to Pete, who's going to talk a little bit about what's coming on down the road. So Pete, what you working on?
Yeah, so the last couple of days, I guess last week, I've really been hitting the commodities list. So I did an original, like for people who've been following the project since the beginning, I did an original commodities list a really long time ago. And so I'm going back to that. I'm basically doing a second pass on that. I'm working out what I'm calling right now the Star Citizen periodic table of elements.
Nice.
So there's a lot of stuff that's taken from like the real world, but kind of reorganizing it, regrouping it and stuff to make sense for gameplay. But trying to keep it as real as possible.
So players will they'll be like trading these commodities or finding them in asteroids?
Yeah, so like it will be stuff right now. So the stuff I'm working on is kind of like just internally I'm calling them like tier 1 things. These are like the very root commodities like iron and copper and stuff that you would mine out of an asteroid. But then those things would be later combined into like other things. They're just kind of like the basic building blocks, the very like the raw materials, if you will, of the economic simulator.
Cool. Nice. Yeah. So here on down the road, you guys will be able to mine asteroids and get a little bit of what Pete's talking about. So that'll be in the future. So, but cool. Yeah. So that's all we got for you this week. Until next time, we'll see you.
All right.
Bye.
See ya.
Hi, I'm Max Snowden, lead VFX artist. I'm here today to just talk a little bit about what we did for Gamescom, the demo. Hopefully you've seen that by now and enjoyed it, and you will have seen a lot of effects went into that. Kind of a microcosm of the game as a whole, really, from the small details, the more incidental, subtle effects like the steam, general ambience, all the way to the quantum travel effect, which is an ongoing effect. It's not something that we've finished. We're happy with where it is at the moment, but we've still got the spool up and spool down effects that we're working on. Got some really nice ideas for that needs a bit of tech, so not quite ready for the demo. And then hopefully you enjoyed the constellation explosion, which was something we're really happy with, something that we've been kind of working hard to get to that stage where we've got much more an epic sense of these big ships are blowing up. It's a big deal. We want to really kind of go to town with that kind of stuff. So hopefully the demo gives you an idea of where we're going. We're not 100% there yet, but we're getting there, and we're really happy with the direction it's taking. We hope you are too. So there you go. Thank you.
Big thank you to our studios from around the world. You guys are doing an incredible job. If I could take a minute, I'd like to say, everybody out there sees people like me, Sandy, James, Jared on stage. You treat us like rock stars. It's fantastic. But our job is to represent the blood, sweat, and tears of hundreds of developers around the world. And that's necessary to make something like Gamescom come together. It's the guys upstairs who are doing the really hard work and who aren't getting as much credit. Thank you. Thank you for making Star Citizen. Let's take a look at how they did it.
Hey everybody, I'm Eric Kyron Davis, the senior producer here in the Santa Monica studio. We kind of set out to do something unique and do something different. It started with, what did we want to show at Gamescom? What had we been working on for the past year? And we're ready to show off because there's so much more on top of what we have that we're working on. And this concept came, Ricky Jutley, one of our producers in the UK, was actually driving this process. And it started with, what do we want to show? What's this want to be? And that came from Chris and came from the design team and our design directors, and they got all together to go, what exactly is it we'd like to show off, right? Like where are we in all of our tech, in all of our art? What can we show off? And the idea was to have Gamescom drive our multi-crew aspect a lot, right? To show like this is kind of where we're at. And so when we started that, step one was finding out what we wanted to show. Step two was then laying that out, and our design team got together and built this massive document of exactly how we'd like this flow to work, which then in itself gave us all our individual tasks across all of our disciplines, right? So saying, I want to wake up, I want to get into a ship, I want to fly this ship, I want to get another ship, go through space, bring that ship back, have a big dogfight, that had implications across everything. All of the disciplines, right? We're like, okay, well, we got to go from the inside of a ship to the outside of a ship. Okay, well, that's this type of system. Well, that's that person out in the UK. Okay, and then we got to get on this ship and we got to do this part of this ship. And so we're like, okay, well, that's art. Art's got to do this. And so we got all of our tasks driven out of that really cool design document that the team had built. It was a very stimulating meeting when we first got it. So we had an idea, and then we had this flushed out thing, and everybody, outwardly, we're very excited. Inwardly, we were scared to death because we're like, oh, but look at all this stuff we have to do. It's awesome, and we've got a lot done, but we've got a lot more ahead of us, and that's only weeks away.
One of the biggest challenges that we had was keeping everybody on track on a global level. With the UK office, them tackling very certain aspects of the demo, with the LA team tackling other aspects, was making sure that at the end of each day, that there was a global handoff communication between each region. So as soon as the UK office would finish, we would get a status update from them, and that would basically give us our tasks for the day on what we needed to follow up. And then once the LA office closed, that handoff email would get handed back off to the UK. So we had this constant cycle of keeping everybody in the loop. So the challenge was not only just maintaining the energy within the LA office, but also making sure that the UK office could carry on that torch, and when they passed it to us as well.
One of the most challenging things that we didn't know was actually going to work was getting some of the EVA stuff in, which was actually really imperative to what we wanted to do for the demo. At one point, people were rotating around different axes on their feet, or sometimes they're rotating right around their hips and stuff. So we went through probably 3 or 4 iterations of just EVAing and EVA controls.
The interaction between the Retaliator and the Constellation, specifically the big battle that took place, all the components that we had to set up on both ships was a technical challenge, but I think we did a pretty good job in implementing what is an example of what everyone's going to be able to see in all of our future ships.
So my role in the multi-crew demo was actually implementing a lot of the UI in both the multi-crew ships, including the Retaliator and the Constellation. The quantum travel HUD that you saw, the selecting target pulsing circle, to the 3D tunnel that activates when you start spooling up your drive. And that's all in the HUD, getting all the UI actually hooked up.
The helmet kept popping off. I could not get the helmet would just do whatever it wanted to. Sometimes it would like shift up, sometimes it would just shift down, sometimes it wasn't there at all. Worked on one character, didn't work on another character, switched out the helmet. Oh man, those helmets, the bane of my existence for that demo.
When we're doing the new damage system, we need to design the ships from scratch to work well with the system. So ships like the Retaliator were designed from scratch to have the new damage system put into place and work well, but ships like the Cutlass and so forth, and Constellation have gone through multiple design iterations to work well with the new damage system.
Since our last Gamescom demo last year, we talked a little bit about multi-crew, but that was just kind of more of what we wanted to do, more than what we had actually done.
Multi-crew is part of the dream of what Star Citizen is.
We've been working up to this point where we've been trying to get multi-crew technology into the ships to finally give the core meaning to what Star Citizen is supposed to be. Up until this point, it's been more of a vision of what we wanted to try, and we've finally been able to release that to the Gamescom demo.
It's kind of what's really excited me about Star Citizen, and I'm hoping people can look at that as in, hey, this is a taste of multi-crew, and I want them to hopefully keep dreaming with us and keep giving us feedback on the forums of what they think multi-crew is, how they think multi-crew should play, because we're still designing a lot of things, we're still getting things working, and we want multi-crew to be awesome because we want it to be fun.
The big difference with this demo was it's all real, we went into this with it as prepared to be as real as we could be, to say this is how you're going to play this game when we get into this multi-crew aspect. This is how it's all going to work. This is how going from the interior physics grid to the exterior physics grid and how it's all going to kind of implement into one game. And so that got us really jazzed, got us really excited, because we've been playing testing this for weeks. And it was so cool to see it on that big stage and show everybody, like, we're doing it for real, we promise. This is actually coming, and it looks really cool, and we're having a great time. And
being able to watch everybody in the conference room as the demo was playing, seeing everybody cheer at the moments that we knew were going to be very challenging for us, such as, if a character looked a certain way, we didn't want it to bug out, as we've seen in certain playthroughs. But I think just finally being able to deliver the core tech that's going to build the rest of Star Citizen, everything that we've been doing up to this point has been hinging upon this demo. So from this point forward, we can finally get to see what Star Citizen is truly about.
I think I heard everyone in Germany from here. It was a loud, thunderous roar. So that was great. Thanks. I love that you guys love it, and we love it too. So we appreciate you guys.
I hope that what you saw was more than you expected, and I'm really proud of our accomplishment.
Thank you guys, the backers, the players, because without you guys, this dream wouldn't have been possible. I wouldn't be here, none of us would be here without you guys and without your passion behind this project.
That was an incredible experience, getting that stuff ready for Gamescom, especially I've only been with the company now for 3 months. So for me, a big thing is to thank you guys for allowing us to do this, right? Without you guys, we couldn't make this thing. We couldn't have fun making this thing. We couldn't want to be as passionate for something that's this cool. The demo was, I think, just the beginning, of what Star Citizen really is going to be. And I think if you guys see it, because I know we see it, we got a really cool future and cool experience coming your way. So thank you again for allowing us to do this and for being right there by our sides every step of the way when we make something incredibly unique and try to make history.
Thanks, guys. I'm absolutely humbled to be working for you. Now let's go over to Allie, who's going to be talking about this month's subscriber flare.
Hey everybody, welcome back to Subscribers Corner. It's been a while since I've done an update. We've gotten a lot of new subscribers in that time, so I would like to welcome you to the party. I've got a few things to cover this month. First of all, the subscriber flare for this month is being released this Friday the 14th. This month we are doing part of the Takuetsu series. It's going to be the Starfarer model. Just to clarify, this is not the same model that was included with the Starfarer Gemini. So Gemini owners will receive a separate Starfarer model down the line. We have an update to the Advanced Test Pilot perk. The Scythe is now unlocked for all Imperator subscribers in Arena Commander, so happy flying. We also released a special variant of the Gamescom trophy to all subscribers last week. That should be on your account now. If you're an Imperator, you received 2 copies, and Centurions, you received 1. This works like our standard flare, and we will be doing this in the future for all ticketed events. Thanks for joining us on Subscribers Corner. We will see you again next month. Back to you, Ben.
Thanks, Allie. And by the way, it is her birthday, so happy birthday. I'm not going to sing it because that always gets us in trouble. Let's kick it over to Darian, who's going to be taking over Ship Shape for this week.
Hey everyone, welcome to this week's Ship Shape. I'm Darian Vorlick, filling in for Lisa Ohanian. And the reason behind that is we're going to be covering something incredibly special that we've been working on with the design team for Gamescom, Arena Commander 2.0, and so forth. We call that system GHOST, G-O-S-T. GHOST stands for Game Object State Machine. It's a new technology that we've been developing. So with GHOST, everything is organized into what we call states, and these are then bunched again into groups called state groups, kind of commonsensical naming there. What each of these does, it determines what the state of a specific aspect of a ship is. For example, with a landing gear. A landing gear may have 3 states, retracted, deploying, and deployed. What that allows us to do is allows the designers to set parameters as far as how the ship will recognize what state the landing gear is in when you press a specific button. So for example, if I press a button that deploys the landing gear, GHOST will recognize that the landing gear is now deploying. Therefore, if you hit the button again, it will not interrupt that functionality. Therefore, hitting it repeatedly won't keep deploying, retracting over and over again before it's finished that specific state. Another one is, let's say you have a locked door on your spaceship. It could be locked, unlocked. So walking up to the door, it will scan to see if you have a specific key to open that door. If it recognizes that you do have a matching key type, it will change the system to unlocked. If you don't have a matching key type, for example, attempting to open the door will result in the door not being unlocked, and if the attempts are too high, it may end up resulting in the door switching to a broken state. So this allows us to be able to play with it. For example, someone tries to break into your ship. If they don't have a high enough skill to unlock it, or if they don't have a matching key, it could end up breaking the door. These are not features we're looking at, but it's just somehow how this system can work. For those familiar with CryEngine, this GHOST system is completely done through FlowGraph. So again, what this does is allows our designers a lot of flexibility on how they want to design certain functionality of the ship, how certain things react to certain situations. You may have seen some of it during the Gamescom demo. For example, when one of the red team turned on the power of the Retaliator derelict that they found, you notice that a lot of the gas started venting, lights started blinking. These are certain things that we can affect with GHOST. Another good example of this would be if you're flying a ship and your ship suddenly takes 75% damage, that once it recognizes that it's at 75%, it can start switching to warning lights. Once it reaches a critical level, such as maybe 25% or 10%, whatever we decide to set it at, then you'll start getting critical warnings as far as you must eject. Sparks will start flying, red sirens will start going off. So these are all things that were previously hard-coded into the system. By removing that code and letting it be completely XML driven, not only does it make it a little more seamless and streamlined, it makes it less processor intensive as well. Adding GHOST is something that we're still working on. We got to see a little bit of it, like I said, at the Gamescom demo. So hopefully we'll start to see more of it implemented as we develop more ships and progress towards Arena Commander 2.0. So thank you for joining me on this week's Ship Shape. Lisa will be back next week, and hopefully you enjoy this little bit of technical information. Thank you again. Back to you, Ben.
The ghost system. Spooky. Thank you, Darian. There are some new items in the pledge store you might be interested in this week coming out of Gamescom. The first, and in my opinion the most exciting, is the Retaliator modular system. In the past, when we've sold variants of a ship, they've been pre-formed, so you would get the medical cutlass or the police cutlass. Now we're going to be going to a system for some of our ships where you get the base ship and then you swap out the interiors yourselves. The Retaliator is the first in the barrel, and we've created some cool interior options. The standard Retaliator, available early in the campaign, came with 2 bomb bays. These let you hold bombs, torpedoes, heavy munitions, similar to the ones you saw in the Gamescom demo. Well, now we have 5 more modules that you can put in their place. Want to swap out your bomb bay for a living room or a marine armory or even just cargo space, you now have that option. You can pick those up in the pledge store now and basically mix and match your perfect dream Retaliator. And this is just the start. The 5 modules available today, in addition to the bomb bays, are very, very cool. And we have another, half a dozen or so coming down the pipeline. So there will be more to do in the verse. But wait, there's more! The 2945 Gamescom trophy is now available in the pledge store, and that will go ahead and show up in-game immediately if you choose to pick it up. We've also kicked off pre-orders for track jackets like the one Chris Roberts has shown off in some recent videos. Last episode, we announced a contest for character designs. That is still in the works, and we'll be giving you more details soon. So keep following the show and the forums. And with that, it's time for our favorite segment, MVP. The envelope, please. I said, handing the envelope to myself. And the winner is... pretty dramatic, huh? The winner is the Gamescom volunteers. We could not have had the show happen without these guys. The citizens on the ground who volunteered to help us, everything from picking us up at the airport in Dusseldorf to setting up tables and keeping people safe and happy at the show. It was fantastic, the amount of work you guys did. We couldn't believe it. We came home realizing that we can do anything with your support. Thank you so much. We're going to give you all the MVP badge and probably some other extras because you deserve it. Thank you, guys. And it wouldn't be Around the Verse without an art sneak peek. And here it is. Be sure to tune in to Reverse the Verse tomorrow at 11 a.m. Pacific on Twitch. We'll be answering your questions about that sneak peek, about everything that happened at Gamescom, and everything Star Citizen. Be there and be square. And speaking of extremely square live streams, I'm going to be joining the crew at INN on Friday at 6 p.m. Pacific for a shared viewing of the Wing Commander movie. I fancy myself something of a Wing Commander movie historian, so I'll be there to provide more trivia and background and commentary than you will probably think is necessary. Feel free to come on and join us. It should be a good time. We're going to end this week with another fly-free event. All current Arena Commander pilots are going to be able to try out the Merlin Snub Fighter for the next week. It's a fast, light, quick fighter that changes the nature of the game in some interesting ways, and we'd like everybody to get a chance to try it out. So please do that. Let us know your feedback on the forums. And with that, Around the Verse comes to a close. I'd like to thank subscribers for making the show possible, citizens for making the game possible, and we will see you next time on Around the Verse.